Hi, everyone. This is Zari Ballard, and in today's When Love is a Lie podcast episode, we're going to talk about how a narcissist triangulation can be the death of your heart by 1,000 cuts. Don't move. I'll be right back. Today, we're going to talk about triangulation. I've got on my website, thenarcissisticpersonality.com, Triangulation, Death of a Heart by 1,000 Cuts is one of my most popular articles. So I'm going to read from that today and give you a little bit of insight into what this tactic is all about and how it can be completely detrimental to your mental health. I know it was to mine. Triangulation it's a passive aggressive manipulation tactic used by narcissists and sociopaths to instill feelings of jealousy and insecurity in their partners. It's a tactic by which narcissists can create thrilling illusions of popularity, making themselves out to be far busier and more socially in demand outside of the relationship than they really are. This narcissistic strategy, like all the other ones, slips quietly into the relationship over time so that you, the loving partner, barely knows it's happening until you start to get that feeling. Now, when the narcissist triangulates, victims find themselves feeling jealous of people, places, and things that under normal circumstances wouldn't warrant a second glance. If you've always known the narc to be a loner, triangulation makes it appear that you've been wrong all along. If the narc has always had friends, then triangulation is used to milk his popularity for all it's worth. Either way, the desired result is that you feel anxious, suspicious, and insecure about every little thing. You may even start to feel guilty about your jealous thoughts and doubtful of your ability to act normal. I know it made me crazy. When and if you do confront the narc about your suspicions, he'll call you delusional or needy or bipolar, and he'll never admit to anything at all. He'll look at you with a blank stare and claim he doesn't have the slightest clue what you're talking about. And the triangulation will continue. Narcs always triangulate, even if you don't know they're doing it. They're very patient, and so they'll simply do it and do it and do it until you fucking get it, until he breaks you of all of your confidence and security that maybe you've had right up until that point. The thing that makes triangulation so amazing is that it's really flexible and can actually involve almost anything, even inanimate objects. My ex spent most of our years together triangulating me with his cell phone. At any given time, his phone was either glued to his hand, hunkered down in his jeans, locked in his car, attached to the charger, mysteriously lost when he was with me, and then mysteriously found after he got home, conveniently out of the area and unable to get a signal, turned off, out of minutes, not working properly till a call came in, on vibrate so that I wouldn't hear it ring, suddenly working properly, unable to receive texts, or suddenly able to receive only texts. It was always a myriad of crazy making excuses as to why I couldn't see it, hear it, know about it, or get within 5 feet of it. In my mind, that cell phone had legs, cute hair, and a great ass. As a bonus gesture, my ex would, during a silent treatment, even change his number, making me insane. Whether or not his phone at any given time really did contain the numbers of random girlfriends, I never really knew. But he sure jumped through hoops to make me feel that it did. Sound familiar? Oh yeah, the cell phone game is all about triangulation. See, a narc will triangulate whenever he senses that you feel a little too comfortable in your own skin, or, God forbid, relaxed within the relationship. For example, if he starts a new job, he'll triangulate by casually mentioning just one too many times the bubbly receptionist and how much she reminds him of his ex or his sister or even you. He may let it slip oh so casually that he shared a secret with her in confidence that only you had known about. Or worse, in the middle of a fight, he might say something like this. The conversation might go this way. Okay, the narc. See, I knew you'd act this way. Even Jessica knew it. She told me you'd do that. She was right. She doesn't even know you, and she knows you. Partner, me. Really? So you talked to her about me? You complained to her about your girlfriend and she comments? What kind of girl does that? What the fuck? Narc. Oh, here we go. See what I mean? I gotta learn to keep my mouth shut. Doesn't matter who I'm talking to, you would have a fit. We were just talking, that's all. We talk about a lot of things. Partner, me. Really? Oh, that's nice. Why are you talking shit about me to anyone, let alone the girls at work? Do you have any clue how that makes me feel? Narc. Stop talking shit and I won't have anything to talk about. I gotta get back to the office. Sound familiar, everybody? I had the above conversation countless times with every new job you'd start. Some narcs, like my ex, will even set the stage, now check this out, before triangulation, so that the inevitable betrayal will have the most impact. To do this, they may claim at first to actually hate the very female that later will quietly become the confidant, or they'll go for long periods not mentioning anyone at all. And then bang, suddenly some person you've never even heard about appears to be his best friend. Yes, the narcissist will intentionally allow us to develop a false sense of confidence and security before he smacks us back to reality. Now to be clear, it's normal, completely normal for a couple to expect to share stories and have conversations about coworkers and friends. But nothing about these conversations are normal. Everything involving a narc has a slightly sinister edge to it. He or she can take a perfectly normal behavior, such as chatting amicably with his partner about casual events, and turn it upside down. It'll be the passive-aggressive way he slips his clues into the conversation, or it'll be the inflection in his voice, or the attitude with which he says it. Above all else, it'll be the strange way that whatever he is saying is making you feel. Triangulation is intended to make you doubt not only your importance in the narc's life, but your importance in the world in general. It's a master tactic in the narcissist pathological relationship agenda, and it is intended to wreck you. A narc will triangulate you with the girl, a guy, his mother, or some other relative, a coworker, a newly acquired acquaintance that you never met, the landlord, a neighbor, the bartender, his boss. It goes on and on. The possibilities are endless, and the sky's the limit. And this person he speaks of may not even be his next target. Or maybe she is. You'll never know. You'll never be quite sure of that. As a distraction to the whole thing, he may even triangulate you with one person while he cheats on you with another. More often than not, this other person will have no idea they're even being used to triangulate. It's all a glorious fucking mystery. The intention, as always, is to ultimately trauma bond you to the madness. The narcissist will never let you relax, ever. Triangulation may manage down your expectations of the relationship to the point that you become quietly complacent. I became, in the last few years, I became very quiet. I was tangled up in cognitive dissonance and confusion. After all, the last thing I wanted to do is make a big deal about nothing. His words, however, intentional or not, were my biggest clues as to what he was up to. By listening carefully, instead of letting it all get to me, I slowly turned his ploy to my advantage. I learned how to read my narc like a book. Good or bad, I simply listened, storing information in my organized brain like I would in a file cabinet. Then later, when I was all alone, I'd pull out the files one by one and obsess about the phantom competition. It was a pretty vicious cycle. For those who've never been involved in this type of relationship, it's hard to understand the dynamics of the triangulation strategy. Since there's rarely proof to support our case, we often sound like jealous whiners with nothing to whine about. The sad fact is that triangulation becomes just another part of the nonsense that victims become addicted to. When in fact, it should compel us to leave, it does the exact opposite. We instead become obsessed with holding onto our quote-unquote position. We completely forget what is and isn't a normal part of romantic human interaction. Being subjected to this weirdness day after day, it changes who we are as a person, inside and out. It's the death of a heart by 1,000 cuts. And yet, another inexplicable reason why the aftermath, the emotional collateral damage of a narcissist abuse is so traumatic. Think about it and think about your life. No one forces us to ride emotional roller coasters. In true love, there is no competition, real or implied. Get a new attitude and take your power back. Life is so short and you deserve to be happy. Thank you for listening today. You can check out this article and 89 more at my website, thenarcissisticpersonality.com. You can find me on Twitter at Zari Ballard. And I'm going to be putting out these either in audio or I'll be putting them out in a video blog, probably about once a week, maybe twice, if I can get motivated to do that. And we're going to learn about all this together because recovery has to be a team effort. If you ever want to talk about it, I do consultations by phone and we get a lot accomplished. Definitely get a lot accomplished. Okay, everybody. Thank you for coming. I'm Zari Ballard, and this is the When Love is a Lie podcast episode today. Thank you. Hit that subscribe button.